Let's do some makeup. Now I've already done my skincare and I'm going to start out with my Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It lasts up to 24 hours and I'm using the color Hazelnut Beige. Notice how it's much darker than the skin on my hand. And it's actually darker than the skin on my face as well, but here's the reason. As Caucasians get older, our skin begins to look more translucent. And the underlying colors in our face, such as purples, blues, and greens, will show through. So if I use a foundation that is the same color as my skin, it's actually going to make me look a little bit washed out. But by choosing a color that is one shade darker, or maybe even 2 shades darker, I can actually make myself look a little bit more alive, shall we say. Moving right along, today I am trying out a new lipstick by Embellish Beauty. This is a long-lasting, vegan and paraben-free liquid lipstick in the color No Limit. This is the first time I've tried this, and right out of the gate, I have to say I actually love that little doe foot. It makes it really easy to apply. And I'm using this without a lip liner to see how it's going to react. And I can happily report that hours and hours later, nothing had seeped into my lip lines. Now, we'll come back to Embellish Beauty in a moment when we get to false lashes, but for now, we're going to start on eyes. Now, I was super excited to find out that Supergoop, a company who makes clean, toxic-free sunscreen, actually came up with a shimmer shade eyeshadow with SPF 30. This was especially exciting to me because we're protecting our faces with sunscreen all the time, but not so much our eyelids. I feel like our eyelids are being avoided because when we put sunscreen on, then it runs into our eyes. So even though this isn't perfect, I feel like it's a step in the right direction. It comes in 4 different colors and it can be worn alone or under your favorite eyeshadow, it says. I really don't want you to run out and buy this. I want to test this several more times to see exactly how it acts with different products. And then let me report back and see if it's something that I can really recommend. And for those of you who may already have this, I would love to hear your comments on it. Since we're talking about you, I'd like to take a moment to just thank you for being here and for watching my videos. I love all of your encouraging comments and I really appreciate you. And I want to ask you a serious question because it's January. Where I live, there's hardly any sunshine right now, and I want to know how you're doing. So check in with me. How are you doing? Are you okay? I normally go through some kind of short-term seasonal depression, and this year I thought, forget it. I'm not doing that. So I went on Amazon, I found 2 light therapy lamps and an alarm clock that simulates the sun rising in my window. And I have to tell you, those are amazing. They have helped me so much and kept my attitude so much cheerier than normal. Now, every morning I am woken up to sunshine in my window, whether or not the sun decides to come out or not. I also get to hear birds chirping, and if I sleep long enough, the gurgling sounds of a creek. So if you're not doing okay, there are actually simple things that you can do to make your life better. Next, I have to tell you about my ears. I found them at the Everything's a Dollar store. They were the only pair left, and they're made out of wire. And you know how I love my ears. So you're going to see a lot of these because I love them. And then I headed over to Cato. Cato is one of my favorite stores, so if you're a Cato lover, let me hear from you. I've been shopping at Cato since I was probably 17. And the top that I'm wearing, I found there on clearance for $7.99. So the next time you see a Cato, just go in. I know someone was thinking, when are we going to get back to the makeup? For those of you who are new to my channel, if you're looking for any of the products that I am using and not talking about, there will be an extensive list of everything in the description as well as the top comment. And as always, feel free to ask me a question or leave a comment. Now I'm adding just a little bit of cream contour underneath my cheekbones and putting a little bit on my forehead to give the illusion of a shorter forehead. Then I'm going to finish this off with just a light contour on my nose. If you're interested in finding out more about contouring and its uses, then leave me a comment below. If I get enough response, I'll make an entire video dedicated to the subject. Now let's do some magnetic lashes. The first thing you always want to do with magnetic lashes is shake up your liner. If you don't shake it up good before each time, it's not going to work. We're going to apply this eye candy set, and we're going to use that little tool as well. Now that that's been shaken up, you can go ahead and apply it just like you would eyeliner. If you have textured lids like I do, instead of just dragging it along your lash line, you actually can use little stamping motions to get it on there. Once you've got one of your eyes done, it's important to go ahead and shake it again and then do the other eye. Next, we're going to gently slide off one of the lashes. And here's a little hack I learned. When you're wearing brand new lashes, you want to bend that band in between the little magnets. It's just going to soften up the band so that when you put it on your eye, it actually will conform to the shape of your eye better. And if your lashes are too long, I would normally say trim them from the outer side or the long side. But in this case, I felt that I could go ahead and take a little bit off of that shorter side and it would work out. And it's just as easy as that. They just plunk on, they grab a hold of that magnetic liner, and then you can do a little adjusting if you need to, and they're done. I bought this Wonder 2 Perfect Selfie HD Photo Finishing Powder to try today. And finishing powders are meant to be worn on top of all of your other makeup. It's not like a setting powder. These actually make your skin look really smooth in photos, so they're pretty cool. Next, I'm going to add some of my Bougie lip gloss. It's literally called Bougie lip gloss on top of that gorgeous color from earlier. And then we're on to something else I'm trying new, which is for hair growth. And if you've been with me for a little while, you know that I have alopecia and I also have hypothyroidism, so both can wreak havoc on your hair. But these spots right here are the only ones I'm really worried about right now. So Purity Naturals reached out to me and sent me their biotin hair serum, and I'm going to be trying that and experimenting for a couple of weeks and seeing if it makes any difference. And here's a little tidbit about me that you probably don't know. I actually have been using a hair growth shampoo for about the last 2 years after I found out that I had alopecia, which I found out when I went to get my hair styled, and my hairstylist found 2 totally bald spots on the back of my head. Pretty naturally, I freaked out and went straight to the doctor, who told me it was pretty normal and that I had alopecia. Long story short, I have had some issues with hair loss. I've come back from a lot of it, but I'll be thrilled if this actually works on those spots, and I will be reporting back to you very soon.